the boom in music catalog sales in Europe and the US markets may have one or two impacts in the African space, especially with regards to Afrobeats. And the impacts are not just positive, and sometimes there can also be pockets of negative impacts. I think I'll start with the positive impacts. The first thing that comes to mind straight is that for our older legends who have like huge catalogs, who currently are not really active in the music space. To name a few, the likes of the Bright Chimezes, the Oliver the Cokes of Blessed Memories, Victor Waifos, Blessed Memories, guys who currently are not really active in the music space, or who are even possibly dead. And it might be an interesting way for themselves or for their estates to actually market or have newer ways of sweating the catalogs. And they may not have interesting ideas on how to remarket these classic catalogs. An easier way can just be for them to just sell, and it can just be an option for a quick cash for them or their estates to make money off it. And interestingly enough, if they find venture capitalists or big publishers or big labels who are interested in acquiring these catalogs for a huge amount of money at the end of the day and get it off their hands, it might not be an entirely bad idea for them, I dare to say. So another example could also now be with regards to artists who are not necessarily popping right now, artists who have had like an interesting time in their careers and are not necessarily at the peak of their powers, who potentially may have even seen better days in their careers, and who obviously still also own their catalogs, be the master side and the publishing side, and they don't necessarily have more innovative ways of marketing their records anymore, who currently see that their records have peaked, who currently see that their huge fan base are no longer the streaming fan base, who probably may have even moved on with regards to their sound palettes or what they currently find interesting, and who the new generation, the Gen Zs, have little or no interest in the kind of music that they made before or they currently make right now. It may be an interesting way for them to just potentially sell off their catalogs to venture capitalists or major labels who currently may have been able to like study the catalog, and they see their own market trends, and they can be able to foresee more interesting ways where they can employ newer marketing strategies to actually sweat the catalogs. It might be a win-win situation for people like that at the end of the day. And I would say a not advantageous move, or a disadvantage rather, can be that it may not necessarily be the right time for us as an industry. I'm talking about the Afrobeats industry here, or the African music industry at large, to be extremely welcoming to persons or companies who have strong interest in acquiring our catalogs in this market. And a reason I would say is Afrobeats currently is in the best time ever. Like, we've never had as much success as we've currently had. The big three, the Burna Boys, the Davidos, the Wizkids, the Remas, Fireboys, they've been able to like make giant strides in their careers right now. And we're currently having interesting situation where we have our superstars selling out arenas all over the world, 50K, 60Ks, and what have you. Like, our music have been able to land like huge placements all over the world, and there's a growing acceptability of our music, and it just even goes just beyond us winning the Grammys. So I think now more than ever, we have the world listening to our music. It may not necessarily be the best time for us to consider setting off our catalogs to the big guys, because sometimes, more often than not, you'd want to question what are the reasons why the big guys would want to acquire these catalogs. At the end of the day, it might just be more like an investment, or these guys potentially just see an opportunity where it is like for them striking gold early and having a plan for global domination, as opposed to having strong peculiar interests in the catalogs of these guys. And it may be also be better for us to be currently positioned in a way for us to develop our own structures and better position ourselves to tell our own stories as the market that is currently nascent and growing. It would be nice to have our own music executives look after these catalogs, for us to have our own publishers sweat out this catalog. It'd be exciting for us to also have our own control these catalogs at this particular point in time. And it could also be the question of upon sale of these catalogs, issues pertaining to moral rights. When you sell off these catalogs, be it the publishing and the master sides, we may not necessarily have the moral rights with regards to how these catalogs can eventually be sweated out, be it movie productions, be it advertisements. You have little or no control with regards to how it is being exploited as at that point in time. And at the end of the day, a true artist is true to his art and would definitely want to have a say on how the catalog is eventually exploited. I think to a very, very large extent, the positive sides and the negative sides. But if I'm to just take a stand, I would say our market has not fully developed just yet for us to want to sell off our catalogs to global venture capitalists. Thank you.